Hi Minerva, thank you so much for joining me today. So I have a question for you after watching the video. Um, what impact will continue? What impact will continuing to remove God from America and repeated moves to secularize America into a nation where God is absent have on our nation's future and that of our children?
I think that there would be a very big impact on our society, our culture, and our world. I think it's very critical that we have God in our daily lives, and as an example for the younger generation to just see just the morals and the standards and the way we live. I think that once you decide to live with Jesus and have a relationship with God, something shifts, and you don't do the things that you would normally do. You think twice, three times before you do something, and it's definitely God, working in your heart and working in your mind to guide you in the direction where He needs you. I think every action and everything that we do is thought out. When you are a Christian, is thought out well because of the Holy Spirit within us. Now, regarding to America and just having God completely out is, wow, in my opinion, scary, because that, just thinking of that is just, well, we already are there, and it's just going to get worse. And I think that when we totally leave God out of our schools, out of everything. I work at a high school, and I have apparel, clothing that, has Bible verses, and I can't wear that stuff to work. And I work with students that, it's very apparent that they are missing something, and I know what it is. I know it's God. They're lacking this relationship. I really truly believe that God is a necessity in our lives, and a lot of people don't know that, and a lot of people don't think that, we can live this life without God. But a lot of people think that, it's normal to them, and that's where we've gotten, taking God out of everything. And I think it's so true, like the video said, from our roots, everybody believed in God. God was first. We trusted in Him. And, like, to just look at, presidents and people in as a public figure, being a president and all that, had a very big impact. And even in the educational systems, if you look at Harvard and Yale and those very prestigious schools, they all once required, a religion course, just to be a student there. And that is completely gone, 100%. You go to secular schools or just, anything, a school that's not private, or and you just see the shift and just the difference of people's actions and their mindsets and the way people think. And it's cold. It's very cold. And this is, I think, living without God and not knowing Him and not being, it's another thing to know God and not, live that way. But one thing to just completely not know Him because of your surroundings and because of the culture and because of just this world and what it has become is very heartbreaking. And I've experienced that a lot working in a school and just seeing man, these kids really don't know Jesus. And it's really, really neat that you can be that person and they can see God through you because He's radiant and He's gonna just shine through you. But this world needs God, needs Jesus, and we really need to make a shift.
Why do you think that they are taking God out of for children? Why do you think they're teaching kids to steer away from God?
Yeah, I think
especially the kids.
Yeah, I think there's this fear of parents, thinking something, or a lot of times teachers or people, they won't say anything that they feel because they're afraid of number one, the rules. Just they're afraid of their position and how it will affect them. If they say something about God and they're fired, or that's a risk. That's true. That could happen. Even me, I wore a sweater that said Jesus saves, bro, John 3:16, and I wore that to work, and my manager was like, whoa, you can't wear that. And I was like, whoa, what? It kind of threw me off because I mean, I go to Liberty and we can do that, but no, you can't do that in public settings. And I think the reason why is just this fear of, it's just normal. It's normal to just not say anything about God. It's normal to just this change. It would be a change, and people aren't comfortable with change. So that's why kids, I think that's why, people don't like to say anything or do anything, because they're afraid of what could happen to them.
Concerning today's presidential election and everything that's going on with Donald Trump and his controversial statements concerning ISIS and everything that's going on, how do you feel about that? How do you feel about the trying to extract God out of that and making it such a big deal? Our president has even said something controversial that stirred up comments and almost put a target on Liberty's back for being Christian. How does that tie into what you believe?
As far as all of that and everything that's going on with politics and the election and Donald Trump, ISIS, all of that, I just continue to have faith and to trust. It's completely out of my hands as far as, I can vote for, the next president and all of that. And yes, we have a voice and we can, speak what we feel. But I think at the end of the day, I just have to have faith and believe that, God is going to place the right person in the right positions. And just through prayer and just, I feel like I've had an, supernatural peace about everything, and just been like, yeah, things are looking really tough. And it's very, it's sad to see it all play out right in front of us, because it's very wrong. A lot of it is wrong, and I don't agree, but that's when I just have to pray about it and just know that God is just bigger and better.
Why do you think they dance around the topic of God in politics? Like, it seems like everyone is so scared to say Jesus, God. Why?
Yeah, I think it's just because of this world. It's all about what you look like. It's all about, your physical and just your words, and you can get judged so fast, and people are so afraid of looking a certain way or being different. Really, if you ever speak about God, it's like whoa, that's different. And I think people are, to be in a place, you have to be in a place like that and talk about God, you have to be very strong and know that, people are going to be very critical, but you still stand there and you say what you believe, and, be courageous and just, say those things. But I think that is why, people will just, and because this world is so secular, and the devil is running so much, and it's just like, they're giving him that avenue, they're giving him that to like, the less they talk about God, the more he wins, and it's so sad to see. But even in corporations and just, people think in such a secular way. And I think that's also what drives this whole like notion of just getting rid of God completely and him just being non-existent in our world today. And as far as like the president and all of that saying anything about God, I feel like he's the one person that needs to speak up about God. He's the one person that needs to like set an example. I think that's why us Christians, we really need to be, vocal with our faith, but in a way that, not judgmental or anything, but a loving way, like God, like God does with us. Like he loves us, and that's what we should be doing for our people, is speaking of love and, being morally, it's okay to be moral and, have opinions about moral things, but that is what we should be talking about, and not completely cutting out God from everything. And
well, thank you so much, Minerva. Thank you so much for all that you said. I enjoyed interviewing you.
Thank you.